Senior NATO officials are calling Wednesday's suicide bombing in eastern Afghanistan an indiscriminate attack on innocent civilians. The attack by the Taliban killed Afghanistan's deputy chief of intelligence, but also left more than 20 others dead.
Again, the Taliban have demonstrated indiscriminately by such an act again that they have no values and that they just attacked, and in this case, they've attacked a security target, the NDS second in command, but along killing innocent Afghans.
General Tremblay said Taliban attacks on civilians have increased over the last month, peaking on August 20th, the day of the country's presidential election. Afghan and International Security Assistance Force, or ISAF, troops captured 3 suspected militants during a joint raid in eastern Afghanistan Tuesday. Air Force Master Sergeant George Meyer has more.
Joint forces searched a number of locations in the Ghazni province. The raid was planned after intelligence sources indicated possible militant activity in the area and was conducted without incident.
This was an Afghan-led operation in Ghazni, one of many that the Afghan National Security Forces are carrying out all over the country. It's an effort to remove the fear and intimidation of the Taliban and restore governance and development and security back to the people of Afghanistan.
The Ghazni province borders Pakistan, and the Taliban uses an extensive network of supply routes in the area to arm and resupply militants within Afghanistan. From the Pentagon, I'm Air Force Master Sergeant George Meyer.
The U.S. military continues to provide support for Afghanistan's security and development. Senior Airman Amanda Woke explains how a new program is empowering villages to become more self-sufficient.
The U.S. military has taken on a new project called Operation Extreme Makeover. The military-funded, civilian-run mission provides 36 villages, 24 mosques, and 18 schools in the Baraki-Barak district of Logar province with power packages. These packages include 2 generators, wires, and funds for the villagers to install their own electricity. Communications Director Colonel Richard Hooker says it's important to visit each of the villages receiving funding.
Every time you go visit a different district, a different province, you're going to get a slightly different understanding of conditions in Afghanistan. And, part of our job is to try to have a good feel, a good situational awareness all throughout the battle space.
In addition to providing electricity for the remote villages, Operation Extreme Makeover supplies septic tank covers, new paint for village bazaars, and street cleanup in the bazaars. To earn the trust and support of the Afghan people, the U.S. military appoints a village elder to oversee the project. Senior Airman Amanda Woke, Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan.
The man known as the father of Aegis, retired Rear Admiral Wayne Meyer, has died. Meyer managed the development and early construction of the Aegis. The first model of the shipboard missile guidance system was installed in a test ship in 1973. It is the first totally integrated air weapon system in the history of the Navy. Rear Admiral Meyer later had an Aegis-equipped destroyer named after him. He was 83 years old. Well, a Coast Guard cutter and chopper responded to a fire on a 60-foot fishing boat late Monday off the coast of Washington State. Coast Guard video shows heavy black smoke billowing from the vessel. The crew was able to radio for help before getting into a lifeboat. Emergency officials decided to sink the boat before it drifted to shore, where its 400 gallons of diesel fuel and propane tanks could pose a threat to the coastline. Coming up ahead on Around the Services, it's back to school as military children get a crash course in what's hot and what's not in the hallways. But first, sailor's story. After intense training at sea, one sailor returns home after her first deployment. We'll share with you her touching story. Stick around. Sergeant Ted McDonald is back with more.